Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I did notice in my last video that the with this new camera lens I have, it was a little off. I just think I need to be, this camera's more of a like zoomed in kind of camera, or lens I should say, than this camera lens here, 18 by 135, and this one's 10 by 18. So yeah, anyway, hooked up some more lighting in here. Today we're going to be working on the Honda S2000, and this car needs a lot of work. First things first is I'm trying to get the hood open, and I can't get it open for whatever reason. I don't know if something's wrong with the latch, or I tried pulling the cable, so I'm gonna go ahead and figure that out first. Obviously off camera. Anyway, the reason why you're here today for this video is I got some new cooling fans to help with the overheating of the car, and I also got a nice new Honda OEM thermostat, and this is also a side skirt I need to put on the car. And this is also the future color of the car, which will be atomic teal. So yeah, I know that was a lot right there. It's going to be a long intro. But anyway, we need to do a lot of stuff for this car. There's going to be a lot of content. But today's main focus is doing another thermostat. I also want to work on showing you guys like more in depth of how I do stuff. I want to focus on shooting better video quality content for you guys. I feel like I rush stuff a lot. So with this car right here, I'm going to be really diving in and showing you step by step on how to do everything, better camera shots, different angles. So yeah, we're just gonna start with the thermostat on this car, and then probably do the electric cooling fans in another video. But there's a whole list of other shit that's wrong with this car. But anyway, I'm sure you're sick of me rambling, so let's get started, and I'll see you guys when the hood's popped. Alright, what's up everybody? So I feel like I've been messing up on the recordings quite a bit here. Anyway, we just finished recording a video on how to get your hood latch open when it doesn't want to open. And that was successful because the hood is open. So now we can go ahead and get to installing the new Honda OEM thermostat. I said OEM so slow because I did purchase a thermostat before from Kitty's Own or CarQuest or Advanced Auto, something like that, and it was a cheap one, and guess what? It stuck after not even a month, because that's what happens when you buy shitty parts. Don't do that. Anywho, or how, or what, we're gonna go ahead and start with removing the airbox, so let's get to it. Alright, so step one, we're going to be removing the airbox, and there's a crazy dog barking in the background. So, wow, I don't know what happened here, but that's weird. So we're just going to start off by removing these two hoses, the two clamps here, this connector. This can stay on, but take a note, quick note to self. Let me go ahead and put some lighting under here. Note to self, there is some lines you want to pay attention to. It is very important that you pay attention to these lines because they need to go back the way they did. So once that's removed, you'll go ahead and take this clamp, remove the air filter, and then this is all screwed in. If you have one of these, you'll know how to take it off. If you don't have an aftermarket and you have an OEM, I'm sure you can figure it out. It's pretty simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that off, and I'll see you guys for the next step. Alright guys, and just like that, the intake is gone. So next we're going to be draining the coolant and moving the coolant hoses out of the way, so we could get to step 3. So we're gonna start off by I'm missing a fan, so there's normally a fan here, so normally you'd have to go underneath the car, but first there's a little spetcock valve, I believe it's called, down here. We're going to be loosening this up. Just going to go ahead and do it now. Coolant will start coming out. Okay, put that there. We'll loosen this up. Should come out more. Maybe not. Okay. You could even squeeze the hose if you want. Get it out faster. But anyway, yeah, now that that's done, and this will be leaking from over here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and let it drain and remove the hoses, or at least the top hose. So we'll see you for step 3. Alright guys, so quick tip for you. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the camera. Sometimes these hoses are super hard to remove, so I use this, some penetrating gel lubricant. Take it up, spray a little on there, and take your pick and just go ahead and work the pick. Be careful you don't poke any holes in the hose. Work it around and it should slide right off with minimal effort, which it is, but okay, cool. So that's a quick tip for you guys. Alright guys, well, that was a big fail, and I just dropped my camera right here. It cracked the edge and it was all blurry and I thought I broke it. I basically took the battery out and messed with the settings and voila, quality's back together, but I just literally bought this lens. That was a fail. So we're gonna go on to the next step, which is step number 3. We remove the coolant hose up here. Sorry about that, better view. All the coolant has been drained. Not all of it completely, but we're gonna go ahead and I can't do it with 2 hands, but you'll push to the left and we're gonna pop the belt off. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright guys, the belt is off. So now we're gonna come down here to the alternator and I remove this bolt here and this bolt here. When taking out the alternator, guys, just a quick tip. You're gonna wanna go ahead and let me grab it really quick. Jeez, I'm rushing. I always seem to knock stuff over. Okay, here we go. You're gonna want to grab this pry bar here, and you're gonna have to stick it in there. Once those bolts are completely removed, it's really hard, and you're gonna have to pry this alternator out. That's what I've had to do in the past couple times. I'm sure you guys maybe have your own way of getting it out, or it just pops out for you. But for the most part, I've had to use this big Harbor Freight pry bar to kind of push it out because it's heavy. Like, you have to push out and up and then pull it right out. So yeah, the thermostat sits behind there if you did not know. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get those 2 bolts out and pop out the alternator, and we'll be right back for the step 4 or 5 or whatever next step. Alright guys, well, besides this thing falling a million times, the alternator is out, and you probably can't see, but this hose right there, follow it up and back, goes to the thermostat, which is right here. So I'm gonna figure out how to mount that light better, and I decided to make this video 2-part install. I stuttered. So since I'm gonna have this pretty much out, I decided let's just go ahead and install the cooling fans as well. I mean, like, why not? Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a 2-part video. DIY Honda S2000 thermostat, OEM, don't buy aftermarket, and eBay cooling fans, because I don't have $200 to spend on Mishimoto parts. I think it's Mishimoto radiator cooling fans. And those look like they should do the trick too. So if not, then don't buy shitty parts. Lesson 1 with buying the thermostat. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this radiator out, which is fairly simple because there's nothing really holding it in besides these brackets that were up here that were already missing, that I'm gonna get powder coated along with the radiator. And then pull the lower coolant hose out, so I could get easy access to pull the radiator out. So once I get the radiator out, we'll see you guys in a sec. Alrighty, radiator's all out, and yes, oh my gosh, holy crap. Yeah, this got in an accident, so this got pushed in, so that's gonna need to be replaced at some point. also indent here for the bottom coolant. And we need to take that fan off, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that fan off now. Alright, quick update. So since this is an eBay cooler, these holes do not line up, neither do the ones on the bottom. So what I did was I took the angle grinder and I made them flush with the radiator. And what I'm going to do now is take this Dremel and Dremel up the hole a little bit. Down there I'm going to drill a hole, and up here I'm going to Dremel up so all the screws will fit for this eBay fan shroud to fit the radiator, but it looks good. Alrighty, so I just Dremeled out the top of the cooling plate, or whatever you want to call it, cooling fans with the cooling plate. Fits nice. Now I just have to drill for the bottom two holes, but yeah, it holds up pretty nice. So I know there's a little gap at the bottom, which is bad, but that's what happens when you buy eBay stuff. But it'll work for me, so fix this there. So yeah, I'm gonna drill those holes, and then we'll get back to working on the thermostat. Alright, so when you pull the old thermostat out, well, you could tell like this one just looks cheap and skinny, and this is the OEM one. It only goes in one way. So this little seal, this little tab at the top, sits in there like a certain way. So you're gonna have to put the seal on. Thermostat can go, I think, any way. Not unless it has set. Okay, never mind. It says up right there. I don't know if you could see it, but it says up. So we're gonna place that up, and then the seal is gonna go. We're just gonna put that. I believe the seal sits in up. This little tab sits upwards. If you go down and look in there yourself, or take a picture with your flash on, you can't see it from up here, obviously, but if you go and take a picture, you'll be able to see where that top seal sits. So, this lighting is weird because the garage door is open. So anyway, also when taking the thermostat out, you might need to use like a long screwdriver to pry it out, because sometimes it just is stuck. So if you can't pull it out with your hand, just use a long screwdriver like this, stick it down in there, and just pop it out. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and put the new one in, and then start reassembling. So yeah. Alright everyone, so the new thermostat is in. See if you can see down in there where it sits. It sits right, you can see that top bolt right there, and the housing, I guess, where this hose goes to, it's right here. So now that that new thermostat is in, I can go ahead and put the new radiator and fans in as well. Let the lighting adjust, looks good. And I can go ahead and put the cooling hoses back together and the intake, and we should be done. So yeah, I would say 6 out of 10 difficulty. It just, you know, takes a little bit of time. Also, I mean, it's a little late to say this, but obviously disconnect the battery. Everybody knows that. Well, not everybody. Once everything is put back together, I'll go ahead and grab my little, oops, what is this, spill-free little thing, tool to bleed the coolant, bleed the air out of the coolant system, and we should be done. So I'll see you guys when it's all put back together and running. I don't know what this is. Alright guys, so we're pretty much done. I just finished lubricating the this damn light is so bright. Let me take it down. I just finished lubricating the hood latch and cleaning it, so let's hope it works. I'm going to keep the bumper off in case I have to unbolt it. But everything else is back together. I'm going to go ahead and bleed the coolant system. The fans are wired up. if need be, if they are wired backwards after I do my test drive, or if the coolant is leaking, I'm just gonna go ahead and figure that out and fix it. But I'm 100% sure that it's alright because I've done this before. Hopefully I don't jinx myself. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be right back once everything's okay, and then you guys know what to do. Actually, you don't know what to do. I'm gonna say that in the next clip. My bad. Car's been running for approximately about a minute or so. Coolant is pretty set, just getting the last little bubbles out. Oh, now it's going down. But I'll have to add some, and then I'm gonna take it for a test drive. And yeah, I'll be back after the test drive, or I figure out something's leaking or something, you know, crazy happens. Anyway. Alright guys, well that's a wrap. Everything's working perfectly fine, besides the fans. I jinxed myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those figured up tomorrow. And yes, I also did find out that this valve here is bad, because now for some reason I'm blowing cold air, and when I turn over the heat from the AC, that valve is supposed to pull the cable, which it does not move at all, so that valve is bad, so I will be replacing that. I'm not sure of the exact name of it, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys.